Stop trying to save your soul, okay, and make yourself feel good by sending a bunch of bloody tents to Gaza. If you really cared about the people in Gaza, you would be on your case like a bad rash, getting that prime minister of ours to use the word genocide, getting him to block a bunch of Israeli weapons going out from this country. You'd be on his case, getting him to prosecute soldiers who have committed war crimes and who are coming back to Canada with Canadian passports.
What's the reality of that actually happening, no matter how much money you pumped into lobbying? Because Canada being part of the G7, and most of the G7 being a single club, our prime minister is not going to step out against the global system of governance that believes what Israel believes. And can we really expect any serious G7 country to come out and call it a genocide? I mean, the ICC came out and they call it, they even have an arrest warrant for Netanyahu. Nothing changes. It's all just words. Will words really do have an impact in any sense?
I think the three countries where Muslims have the greatest opportunity to affect that: France, Canada, the UK, because we are the largest religious minority in each country by a long shot.
Mm-hmm.
But the culture that we have as a community, as a Muslim community, mosque build. Let's go build mosques. You got a major problem with being called terrorists. You got a major problem with your children being called terrorists. What do? You know what? I got a really bright idea. Let's go build a mosque. Let's go build another mosque. Like, dudes, what is it with this fetish in mosques? Like, dudes, we don't.
Because you run out of space during Ramadan and Friday prayers, and you have to have like 3 Jummahs happening. So
trust me, if it meant $1 million of our capital as a community went into funding hatred against our children because we had to do 3 Jamaats during Ramadan, for the love of God, we can do that. We can't do that, Nabil.
So now, obviously, we kind of jumped into talking about, political engagement, but recently, obviously, there's an incoming Trump administration for the second time in the United States, and there's a lot at hand with them incoming just a couple of more weeks from now. And recently, Trudeau announced his resignation, and he's stepping down. A little bit early. He's already been prime minister for 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
So in a few months, we can expect some elections, and it's extremely likely that Pierre Poilievre will be the prime minister of Canada. It's almost a given at this point, and the Conservatives will come in with a supermajority. How do you see that changing things for Muslims and the Muslim community? Most of the Muslim community, especially South Asian, but I think most of the Muslim community across has always voted Liberal, just because the Liberal seems to have, at least at the minimum, a softer language towards Muslims and a bit more willingness to engage in discussion around Islamophobia. And also the pro-immigration policies have helped a lot of people to bring their families together. So for that reason, most Muslims continue to vote for Liberals. Even today, they'll vote Liberal. A lot of people will, on kind of the pro-Pierre Poilievre side, just want to save Canada in terms of the economic outlook, where Canada's headed, and Trudeau government hasn't helped that at all. So how do you see how we should be engaging in that? Where should we be putting our votes? How does that matter at this stage? Because now there's a big divide in terms of who do we vote for next.
So if Pierre becomes prime minister, he will add fuel to the genocide in Gaza. And for that, I would tell all those plaster sending, blanket raising Muslims in this country, you got what you deserved. Okay? Because one single bomb that he sends is going to probably outweigh the vast bulk of your entire donation to Gaza.